Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another autocross car build. My vehicle today is the Renault 5 Turbo. An interesting car for this challenge. It could potentially be very, very fast. I do have a couple of fears about it though. These tiny wheel-based mid-engined rear-wheel drive hatchbacks can get rather twitchy. I'm hoping with this being built to A-Class and being a full handling build essentially, that might not be a problem, but we will have to wait and see. Of course, we will be going for some race tyres, and I think the Renault 5 gets some decent sized tyres. Yeah, 295s on the rear, and we're going to get up to 245s on the front. So it's pretty good tyre widths on this vehicle. As you can see, it's going to be very, very light as well, which is good for autocross. Does this have rally parts? I think it does. Yeah, as much as I would love to use these bits, I'd love to go for all of the spotlights. For the purpose of this, we do actually need the Forza Aero parts, which is a shame. There are some fantastic wings for the not quite as crazy as the Peugeots. No, I mean that one. The Forza Aero probably the silliest one here. I also love how it still keeps the kind of like the top lip spoiler as well. So yeah, sure. I have no doubt that makes aerodynamical sense. All of that shenanigans over there. Is that? Yeah, that's heavier. Because it's heavier to start removing bits. It's kind of just a different bumper, but oh well. We'll come back to them if needed. We might have to go for the bonnet to reduce some weight. I will probably be staying with the standard engine in this car. It's likely to pick up PI points very, very quickly once you start adding in some power. Because it is so light, got some decent sized tyres and so on, it's likely not to take very much in the way of power to get this up into A-Class. I will have a look though at what engines are available. I can't remember for this car. The Turbo Rally I know is going to be one of the options. I won't be putting it in this. It's already likely to be twitchy as it is. I don't need another stupid added level of difficulty trying to get this car around. So Turbo Rally is an option, 3.7 litre V6, or you can get the Ariel Atom engine in it. Would be quite tempting if it didn't put up into S-Class. We could go for the 3.7 litre V6. It is considerably heavier though. I think we're going to stick with the standard engine in this car. Right, let's see what we can do power-wise. Well, the exhaust didn't really do a huge amount in all of that. We're probably going to have to go for that because we're actually going to need to get this PI going. I was expecting a little bit higher jumps for it. Ah, there we go. That'll do the trick. Let's whack the turbo on. Turbo's not necessarily a good idea for autocross, of course, with turbo lag. However, I'm probably going to have to do that to get it to A-Class. I know what. Can't decide whether it's better to go for the V6. Well, it is slightly heavier, but we will be able to have it naturally aspirated or even supercharge it if we want. I think we're going to have to go really for the turbo upgrade. It's not quite ideal, perhaps, for the car. Oh, we do need gearbox and the like. I normally save that till after if we swap the engine, but we're not swapping the engine here. Okay, that will make some PI difference. We may have to go back. I may drop it down one tier of turbo, I think, is what we're going to do here with this car, because I'm going to want that in there. We're going to want a diff as well. We'll drop it down one of the turbo upgrades and then get the rest of the parts on, try and get it as light as we can. So hopefully now the rest of these parts here should be enough to get it up to the top of A-Class, and I think that will work. Power-wise, we're looking fairly solid, 318 horsepower in the car. It's not going to have the highest power to weight ratio that we have seen, not by a long way. Considering the vehicle that we had out last time, the Corolla was quite a lot lighter than this and had a bit more power. Yeah, we've seen higher power to weight ratios. I am hoping though that we might have some nice control in this car. That's what we're going for. Fingers crossed we'll be able to carry the speed through the gates in the way that we simply couldn't with the scary Corolla. Right, that's looking pretty good to me. Happy with that now. We've got 344 horsepower, just under 300 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs a little over 2,000 pounds. It's not bad. Not bad, power to weight ratio wise. Can we get... we can shave off another couple of pounds. Sure, we will shave off another couple of pounds and stick some spotlights on the front of it. Fantastic. Kind of got a little bit of rally parts going on there. I'm guessing you're not going to save any weight. No, you are not. We're not going to be worrying about drag or reduced drag for then. No, we don't need to worry about that for this car. Right, I think the Renault is good to go. Could be very fast, could be very scary. I'm not sure which one it's going to end up. Of course, to test out the Renault, we have come to the Hockenheim circuit, where it will get 3 runs through the Autocross course. Now, our current leader is the Chevrolet Corvette with a time of 2:05.5, a benchmark that I think the Renault is likely to struggle to get close. I don't think we're going to have the composure in the Renault 5 to really challenge the likes of the Corvette or the Beetle. I think it could go quickly, small, light, hopefully quite agile. I fear it might be a little twitchy, and that is not particularly what you want to be dealing with when it comes to an autocross course. But I might be wrong. I've been wrong about vehicles in the past. Doesn't feel too bad through these opening gates. There is that bit more oversteer though than some of the cars I'm used to, and I'm surprised. It's got some decent sized rear tyres, and that normally does the trick for quelling the oversteer. It was very fast. I did just ever so slightly, I think, clip the front splitter there on a barrel. That's a little bit of a shame. Straight line speed does seem good in this car. This is always nice to know. Can we carry good speed around here as well? Oh, just about. Oh no, we're on the grass. That's bad. Not what you want to be doing with your quite crazy Renault. I'm not sure I can carry quite as much speed through there as I want to, although I was all out of shape. Oh, we're going to be flat out down here. Oh, I had to have a little lift. We were drifting a tad wide. It's not the nicest balanced of vehicles I've had. There's a little bit of understeer and then there's a little bit of oversteer. It's not terrible by any means, and these cars are never going to be. They're all built as sort of full handling builds for this kind of a thing, but they're just little things that you've got to be worrying about. Oh, I think I've slowed down a little too much as well through there. It's not a particularly great first run in this car. Alright, make most of the power. We can be flat out around there, no issues. Okay, this is the biggest test of the brakes so far. Yeah, it's good under braking. Admittedly, that might be it's just not quite as quick as some cars, but it is more composed around there than the Corolla, so we're not going massively sideways up towards the tunnel, which is always nice. I had a wheel on the grass again in the Renault, not what we want to be doing. It's not too bad, this car. It's just, as I said at the start, what I feared, it's just not quite composed enough, I don't think, as we come around the second to last corner. Now we've just got this wiggle towards the line that I think cost the Corolla a little bit of time. The Corolla didn't really like getting turned around here. The Renault is better. The front end's got a little bit more grip. We can get decent acceleration down towards the line to 11.9 with a 5-second time penalty. That's not too bad a first run for this car. So, on to our second attempt with the little Renault 5. It is kind of very much how I imagined it to be, really. It's a little unpredictable, a little, yeah, I wouldn't quite say sporadic, but you're never quite sure what you're going to get from the car when it comes to these corners. Sometimes you get lots of grip, sometimes you get a bit of understeer, sometimes you get a bit of oversteer, and that's not quite what I want a car to be doing for autocross, especially not when I have not a huge amount of tries through the course. It's okay. It feels like it's one of these cars that will probably go very quick if I can get it cleanly around here and survive and so on, but it's not really a particularly fun car to drive. It's not a particularly easy car to get it to go quickly. It's got, decent acceleration and decent enough handling. We can carry good corner speed if you get things right. If you kind of step over that line, though, a little bit, the Renault gets a little angry and then tries to throw you at something solid. And, yeah, you got to be slightly wary of this car at all times. It may just try and kill you. That was much better through there. Good straight line speed. Kind of just about got the hang of the car a little bit more down here. Are we going to get that front end turned in? We are eventually. Come on, Renault. Please turn in. Please turn in. Thank you for that. Oh, no, back end. Back end, behave yourself. It's just, well, there's always something going on with this car, but hopefully we can make up for some of the time lost fighting it with some of the acceleration. I should have been in first down there. That was definitely, I think, an area for first gear. Never mind. We will use some of that speed. Ooh, back end got a little unhappy. Wasn't expecting that. We haven't had a back end do kind of strange things there for a while. Yeah, it's just almost like it was unloading one corner of the car, not quite having a wheel in the air, but it did not feel too comfortable with that change of direction. I have braked a little early down here. The understeer drag it slightly wide through the first bit, and then we're going to... I can't be flat out up here. There's just these little elevation changes and camber changes. I'm not sure the Renault is too keen on them, quite frankly. We are on for not a bad time, though, if we can keep it all under control and if we can make the most of this section down here. At the slow speeds, it definitely feels happier. At the higher speeds, I'm not quite sure I trust this car. Definitely the slower speed gates. Holy crap, where did that one come from? Where did that come from? I was not expecting that. Well, that's a turn up for the books. We've gone quicker than the Corvette. Only by a 100th, but it did go quicker. And we're going to get a prize bid as well, just for good measure. Oh, if you could give me a charge of Daytona, I would be really, really happy, game. Please. Yay! Thank you, game. Today is a good day, I think. Wow. Yeah, that found so much time in that last sector. That's incredible. Oh, that not in the last sector, that last run to the line even. Okay. Okay, Renault. I wonder if I can go any faster. So regardless of what happens on this final run, the Renault 5 will go to the top of the table. Not the result that I was expecting from this car, but it will be the result nevertheless. I don't know. Still slightly in shock as to how on earth it went so quickly last time out. It didn't feel like it was going on a record-breaking run, just all of a sudden it went the fastest. It's certainly not my favourite of the cars. It's not a bad car to drive at all, do not get me wrong, but it's a little bit more unpredictable than I would really like from an autocross car, and yet somehow it is really very, very fast. I haven't quite even figured out where it is very, very fast around here, but yeah, it's a really quite a quick car, this one. Oh, we were a little bit out of shape around there. The back end was doing its own thing. I have got it under control just about now. Couldn't decide what gear I wanted to be in through that section. How are we doing for straight line speed down here? 118 miles an hour. Oh, please get stopped, car. Please get stopped. There we go. Oh, that was pushing it, I think, down there under brakes. We have somehow fought the car, got it all under control once more. Definitely the Corvette is the easier car to drive quickly. The Corvette is much easier to drive quickly than this one, but this does make up some time somewhere. I think this makes up its time in the tight, twisty, slow section. It's not very good at the faster bits. I say it's not very good. It doesn't feel as comfortable going through some of the faster gates. It really doesn't feel as comfortable. There's quite a few cars that have gone around here. However, through the slow sections, the front end gets changed direction so well that I think that's where we make up a lot of time. And for autocross, of course, that is a very, very important aspect. Being able to get changed direction very, very quickly is incredibly useful, and that does seem to be what this car is good at. It seems good at that section, so we can make the most of them bits, and somehow the lap time is all coming together. Right, can we go any quicker down here? Weave and weave and weave, and I have to have a little lift. Oh, it's going to be fast. It's quicker. 205.2 from the Renault. Wow, and that included a big, scary little slides going on, and yeah, wow. I don't know. When it comes to some of these leaderboards that I do for these car build series, sometimes you just get a car that goes stupidly fast and you're not really quite sure how, and that's this Renault 5. The Corvette, I knew why that car was quick. It was such an easy car to drive so very, very quickly. This is not a particularly, I say it's not a particularly nice car. We're all talking relative terms here. This is not a particularly nice car when I compare it to the Corvette. It's got a bit of understeer, it's got a bit of oversteer at times. It's just not as predictable. It doesn't feel as fast. It really doesn't feel as fast getting around some of the corners. You know, it's more likely to oversteer, more likely to step out of line. The brakes are okay, but not amazing. Yeah, somehow though, when you put it all together, it is stupid fast. And I really do think that it is the slow sections where it makes the time up. The front end does get changed direction very, very well through that last run towards the line. Something we saw the Corolla struggle with. This is very, very good at. So yeah, that's my best guess as to why we have a Renault 5 at the top of the leaderboard, 0.3 of a second faster than the Corvette. That's a really good time. A really good time from a car I did not expect to find at the top of the table. But there you go. It's a fairly big surprise here, and I think it's the first time we haven't had a 60s car at the top of the leaderboard for quite some time. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.